Well, hello everyone. Welcome to my table. My name is Toni, and this is the Air, Fire, Earth, Water Tarot Forecast for Halloween weekend, October 29th through the 31st, 2021. So, welcome to my table, all of you who are returning subscribers. It is such a pleasure to have all of you here with me. And for those of you who are brand new here, welcome to my table. As I said, my name is Toni. So we are just going to create a sacred container where we welcome in and we invite our higher selves, as well as calling upon Christed consciousness to please join us at the table. We command our sovereignty in this time, dimension, place, and space, and we disinvite and we disallow all beings, energies, and entities of less than Christed consciousness. And now we're going to set our intentions by calling forth in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. We invite in now our angels, ancestors, guardians, and guides. Guardians of the four corners, Mother of the Earth, Father of the Sky, and sacred ones. We call upon you all. We welcome you here now. We ask you to please be present with us and please help us to understand and to interpret these messages to the best of our knowledge as we receive them. Thank you. Okay, everyone, are we ready? I hope so. So this reading is for all signs, the air, the earth, the fire, and the water signs. You are all welcome to the table. Before we begin, just take a second, please. Give me a quick thumbs up. Give me a like, share, comment, or subscribe. And let's see, what else do I need to say? Oh, yeah. And all of you who've already subscribed, y'all my favorite kind of people. I love you. You can find me elsewhere on the internet, on Instagram, at Toni Summers Tarot. And if you would like to book a private reading with me, you may click the link down below to my Etsy shop. Okay? As always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Up first, it is Scorpio season, so you know what that means. It's the water signs. Welcome to the table, Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. We are going to begin this week by looking at the Halloween Oracle water signs. So let's begin. Okay. Angels, ancestors, guardians, guides, what is going on for my water signs this super spooky, magical Halloween weekend? What can Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio expect for the weekend of October 29th through the 31st, 2021, or whatever time they are watching this? Remember, these readings are timeless. Okay, you've got beautiful water signs. Beautiful. You've gotten forgiveness. Forgiveness. Okay, let's look that up. I mean, I don't feel like we got to read much here. It's pretty self-explanatory. This is a weekend where either you're going to be giving forgiveness or you're going to be receiving forgiveness. Either way, this is a beautiful, beautiful energy for you. Forgiveness, reducing burden. A wrong is done, consequences you cannot deny. But to hold a grudge is to drink poison and to think that the other person will die. And so it says it takes a bigger person to apologize, but in many ways it takes an even bigger person to forgive. When we hold grudges, the negative energy is incredibly toxic. It's like drinking poison and expecting the other unforgiven person to die. While we may even harbor feelings of revenge, and to be honest, that can feel good for a little while, it's important that we move these feelings along to forgiveness and to release these feelings as soon as possible for our own health and well-being. So if you have this card show up in your life, think about who it is that you could be forgiving. And water signs, don't forget, the most important person that you might need to forgive might be looking you right in the mirror right now. You might need to forgive yourself. So who do you need to give forgiveness to, including yourself? This is a really good weekend just to put the word forgiveness as an affirmation in your head. Grace and forgiveness is honestly something I say to myself very frequently, especially when somebody is acting, less than desirable. I do put those two words in front of me. I think grace and forgiveness. I want to give them grace because I want people to give me grace, and I can forgive them because I love them. I can let this go. It's not important. Okay, so let's just ask ourselves, who can we forgive, including ourselves this weekend, water sign. So let's look at the romance cards. We're going to look at the Red Hot Love Oracle. Here we go. Angels, ancestors, guardians, and guides. What is going on with the water signs this weekend when it comes to love and romance? What can Cancer Spicer is what I just said. What can Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio expect when it comes to love and romance this weekend of October 29th through the 31st? What can Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio expect when it comes to love this Halloween weekend? By the way, y'all, what do y'all think of me as a witch? You see my true colors coming out? I'm a good witch, though, you know. I would be a good witch, I'd like to think. I think Dorothy would trust me on that Emerald Road. All right, Spirit, what's going on when it comes to these water signs this weekend when it comes to love? My goodness, that took a second to get it. We're just going to take that top card. Walk a mile. I love this card. I've always loved this card because to me, this card, it can go both ways, and it's very interesting because I think this is perfectly complements forgiveness. You know, walk a mile can be putting yourself in someone else's shoes, understanding their perspective and where they came from, but it's also asking someone else to understand your point of view and try to understand your perspective. So this is really a weekend to not only focus on forgiveness, but perhaps to have conversations where we are listening to understand. You know, we are not trying to make our point, but we're really trying to understand the other person as much as possible and to walk a mile in their shoes. The other thing I always laugh about with walk a mile is it could literally means you need to walk away from somebody. You are not required to attend every argument you are invited to, all right, water signs. So sometimes the best way you can forgive someone in the middle of an argument is to not attend it, to just, you know, toxic people love nothing more than for you to give them something to be angry about. You know, sometimes the best thing you can do is zip your lip and walk away, offer forgiveness silently. All right. So let's look at the Modern Witches Tarot water signs and see what is happening in your energy field. Angels, ancestors, guardians, and guides. Messages, please, for the water signs for the weekend of October 29th through the 31st. What can Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer expect this weekend? What is the energy surrounding? Wow, that pops right out. Look at that. Justice pop coming in for this weekend. So here is Libra showing up for you, water signs. This is very much about being fair, being just, being balanced, making a fair decision, making a just decision. And again, this really perfectly complements these two cards. This could be the weekend where justice is finally served, where you finally offer forgiveness, you finally receive forgiveness. Maybe somebody's been holding back forgiveness for you, and maybe they finally can see your point of view and they offer you you know, a right is wrong and they offer you forgiveness. Or this could go for you as well. Remember, this could be that you finally are able to understand someone else's perspective. Maybe your ego has been keeping you from seeing the truth, and now, you know, a right is wrong and you're able to offer forgiveness and correct the situation. This is just very beautiful energy. The thing I like about justice is also, this is the number 11. You know, when you think of the number 11, you have 1 and 1. So it's like one person standing in front of the other, mirroring back to the other. And so, like I said, this is about listening to understand, standing in front of each other and looking at each other, trying to comprehend. We're not listening for our turn to speak, we're listening to understand. So really sitting there and looking at each other, you know, face to face and understanding each other's perspective. Okay? So what is the do and don't do for the water signs for this weekend? What should the water signs do this weekend, please, Spirit? October 29th through the 31st. What is the do for Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer? What is the do for the water signs this weekend, please, Spirit? What is the do? Almost. I thought we had it. What is the do for the water signs this weekend? Here we go. And what is the don't do? Okay, for the do, you've got the 9 of Cups and the Hangman. Really, oh my goodness, focusing on, oh my gosh, your happiness and focusing on getting what you want through your own, oh my gosh, this is so good. Okay, hang on. What's the don't do? What is the don't do for the water signs? I love this for you though. What is the don't do for the water signs? There you go. Oh, 9 of Swords. This is such a perfect mix. Look at this. You have the 9 of Cups on the do and the 9 of Swords on the don't do. What a perfect. So don't do. This is not the weekend to keep bringing up all the things that you know, hurt you and keep dredging up the past, keep, you know, recircling and rehashing. And like I said, this is listening to understand. This is trying to understand their perspective, trying to restore the balance and to really heal. You know, there's that white rose. When we think of the white rose, we also think of like the white flag. You know, the you know, I surrender. You know, I want to heal here, and I want to heal. So we're not trying to bring up all these things that have hurt us. This isn't about what they did or you did. It's about ultimately the impact that it had on our emotions and how that played out between our relationships. And so it's not so much, well, you did this and you did that. It's that when you did this, it caused this behavior. This is about the cause or the effect, not the cause, but the effect of these actions. And so it's really focusing on the effect, not so much the cause, okay? But really, again, this is truly what we were saying when we talk about this do. The Nine of Cups, the Hangman. This is about going within yourself and speaking your truth, standing still and listening to understand, and expressing yourself in a way that is fully understood. It's not about being, well, you did this and you made me feel like this and this is all your fault. Remember, blame is the lowest of the vibrations. It really serves no purpose. Blame does nothing but make people feel like shit, to be honest. It serves no purpose, and blaming yourself is the same thing. It serves no purpose. So instead of blaming, why don't we try to understand how it happened? And when it's not even deconstructing, like, you know, okay, let's say somebody said they would be a certain place at a certain time, and then when the time came, they were across town and they hadn't even left. And so now we're having a big argument about this, right? And instead of being like, well, you said you would leave at this time, and at that time you were still there. Okay, that's the problem. That's the cause. How about we talk about the effect? You know, it's more of when you didn't show up at the time that you said you would, it caused, you know, all of us to have to wait. Our son got hungry, and in fact, you know, he got really emotional and hard to control, and just kind of put a damper on the whole thing because, you know, I expect you to keep your word. You know, I trust you to keep your word, and when you don't keep your word, it has a domino effect. It's kind of like having a conversation like that. It's not saying you did this thing and you ruined everything. It's, you know, when we fail to hold up, you know, be accountable to ourselves, it has a domino effect, and this is what happens. So it's really understanding from a higher perspective. It's not about this is how you ruined my life. It's about understanding why they made the choices they did and how that impacted their emotions, their thinking, their logic, their reasoning, and showing them how that impacted you as well, but not this is your fault, this is my, you know, da-da-da-da. This is really not just listening to understand, but showing that we can come together to move forward. You know, that even if we hurt each other, we still love each other, Nine of Cups, and we still want each other, and that we can offer forgiveness. Okay, so this is such a beautiful energy. This is truly the water signs energy, this forgiveness, this going with the flow, not creating unnecessary drama just for the sake of being right, but listening to understand. Would you rather your soul be seen or your soul be understood, or your ego to be seen? Which is more important, for your ego to be seen or your soul to be understood? All right, water signs, I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, be sure you give me a thumbs up, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to, there's going to be a very special bonus conversations with our loved ones, the Day of the Dead reading for tomorrow. So come on back. I hope I get to see you then. Until I do, I love you, water signs, because now guess whose turn it is? Fire signs. Welcome to the table. Welcome to the table, Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. We are going to begin this week by looking at the Halloween Oracle. Let me get the tea first, and then we will begin. There we go. Let's begin, fire signs. Angels, ancestors, guardians, and guides, what is the energy surrounding the fire signs this wonderful Halloween weekend? What can the fire signs expect the weekend of October 29th through the 31st? Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo. Beautiful, came right out. It's my favorite card in the deck, which is perfect because if you don't know, I am a fire sign, so I love that the message is for me. That's so perfect. All right, the Skull of Stars. Look at this. Infinite possibilities, Sagittarius, Aries and Leo, the Skull of Stars. It says, why think so small when galaxies spin within? Realize that you are made of the stuff of stars and infinite possibilities begin. This skull brings us back to the fact that we are each made of the stuff of stars, yet many of us think so small. We are each born with a blank canvas to paint upon, and we are indeed an open sky of possibilities. It is easy to feel small in the world that is so busy, impersonal, and seemingly self-absorbed. At times, we can feel lost and unclear about our direction, and we can lose sight of our place in the cosmos. The Skull of Stars reminds us that we are only limited by our own imagination and boundaries. If we can dream it, it is possible. This card is indicating that you need to think bigger and to be more broad about your future and what you would like to achieve. Perhaps there are false beliefs, often old, that no longer serve you as you grow and change. Sometimes these beliefs may not even be yours. They could have been imparted to you by your parents or even the wider community, yet they feel rather incongruent to you. You need to endeavor with all of your heart and soul to live the life that you want and to honor your own wishes and truths. So this is about really coming into congruency with your highest self-expression this weekend. Understand that so many of us limit our dreams. You know, I'm just going to use myself for example, but I'm not going to go into the details here. But, you know, coming into this journey, and, you know, I have a private shop of my own that I sell tarot readings and such through. I really started very small, and I really had very small dreams. But within a very short amount of time, I had a mentor speak to me, and the very first time she spoke to me, she said something that is my now dream. She says, you know, I see you doing this. It was a dream that I had never considered. It was a dream that had never crossed my mind. And I'm not sure that it would have, to be honest. I'm not positive that I would have thought of that on my own. And it was such a big dream, giant dream so much huger. I was dreaming in microscopic amounts, and she was dreaming in microcosmic amounts, you know? And so that's what this is. This is about realizing your true potential, because your higher self has bigger plans for you than you're trying to chase right now. What if I told you that you're thinking too small? What if I gave you permission? What if you couldn't fail? What would you do, fire signs? What if you knew you couldn't fail? What would you do? This is the weekend to really, really figure that out for yourself, okay? All right, let's look at our love and romance for the weekend. We're going to look at the Red Hot Love Oracle. Here we go. Angels, ancestors, guardians, and guides, messages, please, for the fire signs for the weekend of October 29th through the 31st. What can Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo expect this weekend, please? Love and romance, what can the fire signs expect for the weekend of October 29th through the 31st, please? There we go. Heck yes. Heck yes. The One. I adore this card so much. The thing that always pops out to me about this card is the thing that you see the most is the watch. Just the watch. And, you know, his hand in his pocket being very chill and cool, but it's the watch that it draws your attention to. And the point here is that this is a matter of timing. It feels like perhaps the one that you're meant to be with hasn't come into your life yet because you have been playing small. Perhaps you have been limiting your possibilities, and as you're limiting your possibilities, you're limiting your possibilities in all regards. Remember, life has the four tables of the leg. You know, picture a table, and you got four legs, right? And you've got health, wealth and career, love, and relationships, okay? And if you're playing small in your wealth and career, you know, you're playing really small, then you're going to limit yourself in your health. You're going to limit yourself in your career, in your relationships. You're going to limit yourself in your love life because, you know, you've got that table, you've got four legs, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 legs standing on that table. And if you take away one leg, what happens to that table? It falls. Okay, so this is very important to understand that you maybe have been limiting yourself to the point that so much that you're keeping the one from coming, but perhaps now is the time. Now is the appointed time. Today is the day, fire signs, as they say in the good old Bible. Now is the time to think a little bigger and to maybe have some expectations that bigger things are coming your way. And when it comes to the one, it feels like the time is now. Today is the day. They are on their way. Those of you already in relationship, This could be a re-spark, a reset, a fresh new beginning. The time has come for y'all to maybe, really reinvigorate this relationship and really breathe a fresh new breath of air into it and just recharge it this weekend, all right? So let's look at the Modern Witches Tarot and see what's happening with you fire signs. Angels, ancestors, guardians, and guides, messages, please, for the fire signs. What can the fire signs expect for the weekend of October 29th through the 31st? Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. What is the energy surrounding the fire signs this weekend? All right. Queen of Cups. Look, this really fits perfectly with these two cards. First of all, the Queen of Cups, she's the queen who creates a life that she loves. Her life is like, you can literally walk in her home and it's a full reflection of her. You can walk in and be like, you would walk into my house right now and be like, this is Toni's house. Like, no doubt, it's mine. The very second you hit the front door, you can tell it's mine. There's stars, there's plants, there's statues of animals, there's funny pictures, there's snarky little cross stitches hidden here and there. There's travel stuff, souvenirs everywhere. There's old furniture everywhere. That's me. That's me. And that is reflected, okay? This is what we're talking about when we talk about the Queen of Cups. When you walk into her home, she has built her whole life. When we speak of her home, we're not talking about just her physical home. We're talking about her life in general. Her life in general reflects who she truly is in her heart, and it aligns with her heart's values. And this is the weekend when you finally realize you've been playing it too small and that your life isn't aligned truly to your heart. It's time to find out what your heart really desires and go for it this weekend, fire signs. Go for it. And the biggest thing is, and I am just feeling all kinds of this energy, if the one should show up, this is your sign. If you've been like, I don't know, especially if it's an ex, and you're like, I don't know. We've been down this road. This is your sign. You're playing too small. Dream bigger for this relationship. See bigger possibilities. Stop limiting where you can go and open up the road of possibilities within your heart to create what you truly want from this relationship. This could be the weekend where you get to rebuild this relationship and let it be heart-based, okay? So let's see what you should do and don't do this weekend, fire signs. What should the fire signs do this weekend? October 29th to the 31st, Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. What should the fire signs do? Look at that. Water signs got that as well, but this is the 9 of Cups. This is focus on what you want. What do you want? What do you want? Get what you want, baby. If you are not going after what you want, then you are thinking way too small. Quit thinking it's selfish, because here's the problem. Selfish is exactly what you want to be. Selfish is just being divinely connected to your higher self. It's being in alignment with your divine purpose, your higher self. And when you are selfish, you are connected to your higher self and serving your highest self purpose, okay? What you are confusing selfish with is self-centered. Now, self-centered means you're putting yourself and your needs and your wants ahead of everybody to the point that's detrimental, okay? That is not what I'm asking you to be. I'm not asking you to be self-centered. I'm asking you to be selfish. What do you want? Quit thinking so small. Ask your heart, ask your soul, what should I be going after? And go for it. Do not play small. Do not say no. Say yes this weekend, fire signs. What should the fire signs don't do? What is the don't do for the fire signs for the Halloween weekend? Woo, don't be cutting off your nose to spite your face there, fire signs. 5 of Swords. This is that card of winning at all costs. You know, I call this the divorce card. So, you know, when you go through a divorce, in order to win, get the divorce, you have to lose your marriage. You have to lose your family. You have to lose your partners. Yes, you win, but what did you have to lose in order to win? Okay, so this is one of those weekends. You know, like I said, I'm cautioning you against being self-centered. Do not, just because you now know who you are and you now know what you want and you're going after it, don't put. Okay, it's fine to have your goal in mind and to chase it, but we're not going to be burning bridges and mowing over people in our attempt to get what we want. Okay, this is about working, co-creating. Okay, when we are in alignment with our higher self, when we are co-creating with our higher self and source, you know, the ultimate co-creation, you and your higher self and source, the three, right? The Trinity, as we call it. When you're there is no mowing over people. There is no burning bridges, because when you are on the right path, there's no bridges to burn. You're just on the road. You're not crossing the river. You're on the path. There's nobody to run down because there's nobody in your path blocking you. Okay. So this is not about hurting others to get what you want. Let me say something. I do hear this very clearly. Some of you could be leaving your relationships because your relationships are not working. And you realize when you leave that relationship, you could be hurting others. Understand that that's not what I'm saying. It's not that sometimes that's necessary. Sometimes we have to have a loss to get a gain, and that's true. But it's not about, well, I don't care what you say. This is what I want. This is what I want in thy best and highest good. Because if it is in my best and highest good, and if I am on my path of alignment, and I'm moving towards the one in my life. This doesn't even have to be a relationship one. This can be all the one that you're supposed to be, the path that you're supposed to be on, the career that you're supposed to be on, you know, the mission you're supposed to be serving. If you're on that path, then there will be nothing that will be in your way. Okay, so understand that if something is in your way, if you have to cut off something, you know, mow somebody down, or burn a bridge, then you're not on the right path. Okay, fire signs, I hope that you found this enjoyable. If you did, be sure to give me a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want, you can come on back tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be doing a beautiful reading, called Conversation with Our Loved Ones, talking to the other side of the veil. I hope that you will come back. And until I see you then or whenever, I love you so much, fire signs. Y'all stay happy, healthy, safe, and blessed. Because now you know whose turn it is, right? Welcome to the table, Earth signs. Welcome to the table, Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus. Let me get a sip of tea. And then we will dive on in. All right, Earth signs, let's begin. We are going to begin this week by looking at the Halloween Oracle. Here we go. Angels, ancestors, guardians, and guides, messages, please, for the Earth signs for the weekend of October 29th through the 31st. What can Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo expect this weekend, please, Spirit? What is the messages for, ooh, look at that jumping right out. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck, but it's not because of, well, it is kind of because of the message, but it's mostly because there's a kind of a big error here. The first thing is, this is the card called Night Song, and as you see right on the front of it, there is a beautiful red cardinal. And this is, there are two things it talks about. It talks about birds that sing in the dark, okay? And it talks about birds that sing, this card does, okay? So before we go into reading the book about what it's about, I just want to say the reason why this is my favorite card, or one of them. First of all, I love cardinals, so immediately I was drawn to it, but I couldn't help but laugh because whoever chose the artwork for this book did not know that cardinals, one, do not sing at night. So it's kind of funny to have this bird on this picture, but also cardinals don't sing. I have a bush literally 3 feet from my hand right here, just on the other side of this window right here is a giant Rose of Sharon bush, and in that bush there is a family of cardinals, and I listen to them all day long. And do you know what cardinals do? They don't sing. They go chirp, 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 chirp. In fact, if we get one laying out here while I'm reading, I'll point it out. But they don't sing. And so it just is kind of funny to me that my favorite bird would show up on a card that has so many inaccuracies. So anyway, Night Song, the hidden talents. I love, love, love this card for you, Earth signs. A ruby red bird singing in the darkness, full of sound, like an unopened present, ribbon still bound. So a bird singing in the night is an unusual occurrences, and those birds are known as the singers in the darkness, and they are considered almost always sacred. Sometimes in certain places, though, however, they can be considered frightening. In the past, during Halloween, a night that the veil between the worlds is said to be the thinnest, these night birds were considered either omens or messengers of the gods. Y'all, I need to get my glasses on. Y'all hear how hard of a time I'm having reading this? Okay, during Halloween, a time when the veil was thinnest, these birds were considered either omens or messengers of the gods. Depending on the culture, their voices were perceived as good luck and a positive validation, or alternatively, they were considered to be a warning about continuing on a certain pathway. In some mythology, the night bird was able to direct us towards discovering our talents and true purpose, a kind of guide in the darkness leading us to the dawn. Should this beautiful but shy bird sing to you by appearing during your card reading, know that you must unwrap the present of yourself. Some of the gifts within you remain unopened. The time has come for you to step into your true potential and claim all possibilities for yourself. There is no more time to waste, no more excuses. It's time to develop those hidden talents. And some of you don't even know what your hidden talents are, so you know how you're going to find out? Get out there and put yourselves out there this weekend, Earth signs. This is your sign. You know, even if it means going out at night and expressing yourself in the darkness. You know, if you're afraid to shine during the day, that's okay. There's no rule saying you got to do it during the day, but take a risk. Try something new. You might surprise yourself with what you already know, okay? Earth signs, this is a very, very beautiful message for you. All right, let's look at the love aspect of your relationship. All of a sudden, my mouth is like, what am I saying? What am I saying? Let's look at love and romance while looking at the Red Hot Love Oracle. Here we go. Angels, ancestors, guardians, guides, what is going on with our Earth signs in the romance department this weekend, October 29th through the 31st? What can Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn expect when it comes to love and romance this weekend, please, Spirit? Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus, what can they expect October 29th through the 31st when it comes to love and romance? There it is. That's way too many. Just one card, please, Spirit. Just one card, please, Spirit. Thank you. Work in progress. So this says that there is some work to do in your relationships, you know, and I like this though, because when we talk about hidden talents, you know, it talks about being in the dark, about being unsure. And so I feel like there's some work to be discovered here for you. It feels like within your relationship, there may be even some hidden talents within this relationship that you're unaware of, okay, Earth signs? It could be that, you know, maybe you and your partner actually, you know, y'all work very well together, you know, maybe restoring things, or maybe it turns out the two of you are really great at navigating and you decide to take up hiking, or maybe you decide to go try bowling or something new. It just feels like, or it could even be just sitting down and learning to communicate, learning how to have a conversation that doesn't end in bickering, but where you actually listen to understand each other and gain perspective. There's a work in progress, something about this relationship that the two of you have yet to discover that's going to be revealed if the two of you sit down and are committed to doing the work this weekend and just showing up for each other, okay? All right, Earth signs, let's look at the Modern Witches Tarot and see what's happening. Listen to the songbirds out there right now, though. Aren't they pretty? Angels, ancestors, guardians, and guides, what is going on with the Earth signs that weekend of October 29th through the 31st? What can Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus expect this weekend, please? What is the energy surrounding the Earth signs the weekend of October 29th through the 31st? Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus, what is going on with them this weekend, please, Spirit? There we go. Two of Cups. I love that. The Two of Cups. I don't know. I just dated myself. Do y'all remember that old song from the 80s? Two of Hearts. I need you. I need you. Anyway, I love how perfect this is. This is about working together, the two of you, working on your unity, working on your partnership, okay? And as you work on this unity, this partnership, I think that it's going to reveal something new. I think there's going to be a new facet of this relationship to be revealed to you. For those of you who are not already in partnership or in union, or you know, maybe have one that begins this weekend, those of you who are single, I should say, this is about you and your ego and your higher self. When we talk about the Two of Cups, this is the divine feminine, the divine masculine. You know, here they are, the twin flames. And this is, you know, the divine feminine is your intuition and the divine masculine is your ego. And so this is the overcoming of the ego and the tapping into the intuition, the revealing of, because when we talk about the intuition, we talk about the moon and the hidden side. You know, the ego is the sun, the part that shines the loudest, right? But we're talking about going into the hidden darkness. And so we're talking about looking at our divine feminine, our intuition. What parts of ourselves are we keeping hidden? Getting in there and doing the work and revealing these hidden talents within ourselves. You may have a hidden talent for learning German. You may have a hidden talent for cooking, French food. You may have a hidden talent for underwater basket weaving. You don't know until you try. This weekend, Earth signs, don't be afraid to try something new. This is really what this is saying. This is the merging of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And how do we do that? By revealing all aspects and facets of ourselves, and we find them by doing the work. All right, so what's the do and the don't do for the Earth signs this weekend? What should Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo do the weekend of October 29th through the 31st, please, Spirit? We have the Two of Pentacles. Look at that. You got 2 2s now. Okay, so this is about restoring the balance. This is about getting on the path of least resistance and following your calling. Okay, so getting in alignment. What is your higher self calling you to do? Do the work. And this is literally about doing the work. Okay, this is what this is doing the work. Once that hidden talent reveals itself, once you get in alignment with your higher self and that talent is discovered, now it's time to follow up. It's not enough just to know what you're capable of. Now it's time to express it. Do the work. What should the Earth signs don't do this weekend? Boy, that flew right out. The Knight of Pentacles. Look at all these pentacles you've got, Earth signs. This is about y'all, and what's beautiful is Earth signs, this is that feminine energy, and so is the cups. These are both divine feminine energy. Again, the moon, the shadow, going into those hidden talents, going in within ourselves. And so what should you, like I said, you should definitely focus on going within, even within your own relationships. What should you not do? This is not about going out and exploring. Honestly, I feel like as you discover these hidden talents and do the work, and this is not about going back and repeating old work, okay? It's not about going back down the known roads that you've already done the work. You've done the work, okay? You should have learned your lessons and be able to integrate and implement those lessons in your life. Now it's about what is new, okay? Now it's about this new way of being, revealing itself and allowing yourself to discover this part of yourself and to integrate it and to bring it into yourself, okay? So it's not about, honestly, it's about thinking outside of the box. It's not about thinking about the same paths, the same way of doing things, but allow yourself to be surprised about what you don't already know about yourself this weekend. Okay, Earth signs, I hope that you thoroughly enjoyed this, Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn. If you did, be sure to give me a thumbs up, and I hope you will come on back for next week's reading. And also, I will have a very special Day of the Dead reading tomorrow. Conversations with our loved ones on the other side of the veil. So be sure to come on back tomorrow. Until I see you again, Earth signs, know just how much I love you, because you know whose turn it is now. Welcome to the table, air signs. Welcome to the table, Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. I am so happy to have you here with me. Oh, 38 minutes of talking, got my throat a little parched there. All right, air signs, let's begin this week with the, if I can get to pick up, the Halloween Oracle. Okay, here we go. Angels, ancestors, guardians, guides, what is the messages for our air signs for the weekend of October 29th through the 31st? What does Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini most need to hear for this weekend? The weekend of October 29th through the 31st, what messages do we have for our air signs, Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini? Messages, please. Ooh, I like that. You've got invisibility. It says authenticity. Ooh. You know what? I don't know if I've ever seen this card, and I've had this deck for about a little over a year now. I don't think I've ever seen this card. Invisibility, air signs. How perfect is this for you, though? Like the ghost. How perfect. That's about as air signs as it gets. It says, heart beating we sense, but they touch. I'm sorry, start this whole sentence over. Heart beating we sense, but do not see. They touch, we chill, they come unseen. You know that feeling that you sometimes have that someone's watching you? You cannot see them, yet you have a distinct feeling that someone is there. All the hairs are up on the back of your neck. You think you see something in the corner of your eye, but when you turn, there's nothing to be seen but the empty air. That is the power of invisibility, the indirect fear and the covert threat of having to fight something that we cannot see. Humans have a strong visual sense, so it is no wonder that we are uneasy about the things that we cannot see. The ancients believed that all manner of creatures, mythical and physical, and of course the deities, could make themselves invisible at will. When we consider that some animals are camouflaged so well that their coats or behavior that sometimes even if we were looking straight at them, they're hard to see within their own environment, that invisibility is not in such a far-fetched concept. In many cultures, the ideas of beings who could watch us undetected were and still are very common. The jinns, the angels, the nature spirits, the fae, and even the practitioners of magic, such as witches, are said to have the power to appear and disappear at will. Y'all, if I could appear and disappear at will, that would be kind of awesome. I'm just saying, that would be awesome. Later in literature, and then even in the movies, invisibility becomes a common power, and we now have fictional superheroes that are invisible, and even my very favorite, the cloak of invisibility. The concept of invisibility is a double-edged sword. While it is a powerful tool to be able to gain information or to assist while no one sees, individuals using it are privy to information that may not be meant for them, and it may be taken out of context or even unethically. It is the power of manipulation, and it is easily abused. The idea of hiding away and not being seen is also a big part of the dark side of this concept. We are all born to shine our light out into the world and to take our roles. Hiding our talents and not expressing our true selves, stealing others' ideas or work, and being someone else rather than your true authentic self are all aspects to consider when this card appears in your reading. So this is about being true to ourselves, not hiding away our truth, and not being somebody else, really showing up as ourselves. But also, the card does speak of, sometimes being invisible can have kind of that unethical quality of hearing things that's not meant for you to hear. And so understand that when we're invisible to somebody, when we're standing there and we're being invisible to someone and we're hearing things we're not meant for our ears to hear, it's time for us to excuse ourselves. It's time for us to, that's not being true to ourselves. We need to protect ourselves and put boundaries. And that's very, 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 very important, air signs, okay? That, we understand what is meant for us and what isn't, and to protect our energy, okay? Very, very important. All right, so let's look at, look at my cute little bag I got for this deck. How fun is this for Halloween? Let's look at the Red Hot Love Oracle for love and romance. Here we go. Angels, ancestors, guardians, gods, what are the messages, please, for our air signs when it comes to love and romance the weekend of October 29th through the 31st? What can Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra expect in love and romance this weekend, please? What can Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra expect? Old fashioned. I love this card. I love it when it comes up. This is about old fashioned, long lasting love. Now, two things here. It could be that you could be coming into a relationship that is kind of an old-fashioned, long-lasting love. Could be starting this weekend. For those of you who have been in a long love, I really appreciate this card because you see here's an old car, but she's all shiny and new and fresh and clean. So clean, right? And so the message here is for those of you who are already in a relationship, this is a weekend where that relationship gets shined and buffed and kind of restored to its original glory, its original luster, and just really comes back to life. That old love returns, okay? And so really and truly, this is about standing and knowing that all love can last a lifetime if we are true to ourselves and we really show up in our highest expression, and we expect the same as somebody else. When we are invisible to ourselves, when we are invisible to our truest self-expression, relationships can't go the distance because you are not being who you are, and so they cannot possibly love you fully. If they don't know who you are, how can they love you? Okay. So this is about showing up in your truest self-expression and knowing that when you do, trusting that the relationship you're in is meant to go the distance and that they will love you and wholly and see you all aspects of yourself and love you regardless. Okay. This is a old-fashioned love, whether it's coming in or whether it's being reinvigorated. Show up as your true self and see just how strong you can bring this relationship to be. You know, this is the more that you show up as your true self-expression this weekend, air signs, the more likely this relationship is to go the distance. All right. So let's close out by looking at the Modern Witch Tarot. Here we go. Angels, ancestors, guardians, guides. What is the energy surrounding the air signs the weekend of October 29th through the 31st? What can the air signs expect this weekend, please? What can Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini expect in, there we go, for the weekend of October 29th through the 31st? What can Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra expect? Look at that. Page of Wands. A new opportunity, a new beginning for seeking your truth and your desires. As I said, the more that you show up as your true, authentic self, as the less that you make yourself invisible and the more you show up. Don't be afraid. Nobody's judging you. The only person judging you is probably yourself. Who cares what other people think? Who the F cares? Literally, your opinion of me is none of my business. Bounce on, show up as yourself. The more I feel like, first of all, this old-fashioned love is going to show up. This long, winding road of a love is going to appear. Those of you who are in relationships, it will be restored. It will be healed. And it's almost like you two have this beginning again. It's, you know, it's like this reinvigoration of you this weekend, air signs, where you are reminded of your true calling, of your true path, and you find your way back to it. For those of you who are feeling a little bit lost, the vehicle is going to arrive this weekend for you to find yourself again, and you're going to be able to know the path to take, okay? So let's see what the do and the don't do is for the air signs for this weekend. What should the air signs do? King of Swords, look at you showing up. And what should the air signs don't do this weekend? Four of Pentacles. All right, what should the air signs do? Think big, expansive thoughts. This is really and truly about showing up in your highest self-expression, okay? This is that stone cold king who knows who he is, he's the smartest man in the room and he's not afraid to tell you, but he knows his truth and he speaks his truth. He is in alignment with his truth. He's in alignment with his higher self. So how this thing in the clouds, he's in alignment with his higher self. He's authentic. He is the most authentic of all the kings. And that's what this is. Be authentic this weekend. The more you speak your truth, the clearer the path will become and the easier the vehicle will arrive to you. This is like calling in your own personal Uber this weekend, okay, air signs? You got to speak your truth so that your path becomes clear where you need to go and you can call that Uber in to take you there, all right? What should you don't do? Don't hold back. Don't hold back your truth. This is the Four of Pentacles. This is about kind of, you know, playing your cards close to your chest and holding back. Don't do that. Don't hold back. Be authentic. Speak your truth this weekend. This is about speaking your truth and being authentic and your highest self-expression. This is not about holding back. This is not about, well, if I say this, what will they think about me? Who cares? Again, your opinion of me is none of my business. I am going to speak my truth, and I am going to know that as I do, the path will become clear to me, and the vehicle and the Uber is going to show up at my front door and say, excuse me, Tony, is that you? This is me. Let's go. That's what's about to happen for you. Don't be afraid. Do not hold back. Do not worry about what other people think of you. Okay, air signs? I hope that you enjoyed this as much as I did. If you did, be sure to give me a big thumbs up, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And y'all be sure to come on back next week. Can you believe we are already going to be in November? That is just insane to me. I don't know. It feels like June to me. I can't even get over that this year is almost over. But also, if you feel like you'd like to spend a little time with me sooner than that, come on back tomorrow. We are going to have a very special Day of the Dead conversation with our loved ones on the other side of the veil reading. I hope you will join me then. And until I see you again, You stay very happy, healthy, safe, and blessed. Love you so much, air signs. Bye.